Hello students, let's start our new chapter, chapter 4, theoretical concepts of operating system. The main concept you are going to learn in this chapter: types of software, introduction to operating system, types of operating system, key features of operating system, prominent operating systems. Okay, I think everyone is familiar about operating system. Without operating system, the computer system will not work. A human body without soul is nothing. Similarly, the computer without operating system is nothing. You cannot use the computer without installing operating system. Tell me the example for operating systems: Linux, Unix, Windows, and so on. Okay. So first let us see what is operating system. Operating system is nothing but system software. It acts as an interface between user and computer. So operating system is what? System software. What do you mean by system software? See, there are two types of software. What are they? System software and application software. What is software? A software is set of instructions that perform a specific task. Software is nothing but set of instructions that is used to perform a specific task. It interacts with the hardware to generate the desired output. Okay. So there are two types of softwares. What are they? Application software and system software. Let us discuss them one by one. First let us see about system software. What do you mean by system software? System software is a type of computer program that is designed to run the computer hardware and application programs. So if you want to run any applications in your computer, you have to first install system software. What is the example for system software? Operating system is the example of system software. And next let us see about application software. What do you mean by application software? Application software is a set of programs to perform a specific task. Application software is nothing but set of programs. It is used to perform a specific task. For example, MS Word, VLC Media Player, Windows Media Player, Photoshop, PowerPoint, and so on. This application software is used for your purpose. So there are two types of softwares. What are they? Application software and system software. In your computer, first you have to install system software, which means you have to install Windows or Linux or Unix operating system, that is system software. Then only you can use any application software like VLC Media Player, MS Word, PowerPoint in your computer. Okay. Now let us discuss about operating system briefly. Okay. What do you mean by operating system? Operating system is a system software which serves as an interface between user and computer. Who is the user? We are the user. If you want to interact with the computer, first you have to install operating system. That is nothing but system software. Okay. It controls input, output and other peripheral devices such as disk drives, printers and electronic gadgets. So whatever electronic device you are taking, if you want to interact with those electronic gadgets, you have to install operating system. Okay. So without an operating system, a computer cannot effectively manage all the resources. When the computer switched on, the operating system is loaded into the memory automatically. The main functions of operating system includes file management, memory management, process management and device management. Some of the popular operating systems used in personal computers and laptops are Windows, Unix and Linux. Some of the popular operating systems used in mobile devices are Android and iOS. Okay. Next topic is types of operating system. Operating systems are classified into two types. What are they? Single user operating systems, multi-user operating systems. There are two types of operating systems. What are they? Single user operating system, multi-user operating system. First let us see about single user operating system. An operating system allows only a single user to perform a task at a time. That operating system is called single user operating system. It is also called a single task operating system. The example for single user operating system is MS-DOS. And the next operating system is multi-user operating system. It has been accessed by multiple users at the same time. So it is called as multi-user operating system. So it has been accessed by multiple users at the same time. The users can also communicate with each other. The example for multi-user operating systems are Windows, Linux, Unix. Okay. Next topic is key features of operating system. There are so many key features available in operating system. What are they? User interface, file management, memory management, fault tolerance, process management, security management, and so on. Okay. Now let us discuss them one by one. First let us see about user interface. UI stands for user interface. User interface is one of the significant feature of operating system. Only through the user interface, user can make interaction with a computer. So if you want to interact with the computer, there is only one way, that is user interface, which means GUI. GUI stands for graphical user interface. And the next feature is memory management. Memory management is the process of controlling and coordinating computer's main memory and assigning block to various running programs to optimize overall computer performance. Memory means what? Storage space. Okay. So it allocates specific memory space to individual programs based on user demands. It keeps several programs in main memory. Okay. And the next key feature is process management. Process management is function that includes creating and deleting processes, which means programs, and providing mechanisms for processes to communicate and synchronize with each other. Here program is called as process, or you can say this a system task. Okay. In this process management, two categories of processes available. What are they? Operating system processes and user processes. Operating system processes and user processes. The operating system processes is executed by system code and the user processes is executed by user code. Okay. In this process management, some of the algorithms are mainly used to allocate the job to the processor. There are 4 algorithms. What are they? FI, FO, SJF, round robin based on priority. Let us discuss them one by one. First let us see about FI, FO, FIFO. First in, first out. This is FI, FO scheduling or FIFO scheduling. First in, first out. This algorithm is based on queuing technique. Let us see one real world example for this FIFO scheduling. This is the classroom. Here students are standing in a queue, which means row, to get grade sheet from his teacher. They are getting their grade sheet from their teacher one by one based on the queue. Which means the student who stands first in the queue gets his grade sheet first and leaves from the queue. And the next student will get grade sheet. And the next student. And so on. This is the basic logic of FIFO algorithm. Which means the process that enters the queue first is executed first by the CPU. Followed by the next and so on. The processes are executed in the order of the queue. Okay. So this is about FIFO algorithm. And the next algorithm is SJF. SJF scheduling. SJF stands for shortest job first. This algorithm works based on the size of the job. Let us see one example. Let us take 2 jobs A and B. Size of A job is 6 kilobytes and size of B job is 9 kilobytes. In this SJF scheduling, shortest job will be executed first. Okay. So here compare these 2 jobs A and B. Which one is short? A. Okay. So first the job A will be executed by the CPU and after that job B will be executed by the CPU. Okay. And the next algorithm is round robin scheduling. It is defined as RR, round robin. This scheduling algorithm is designed especially for time sharing systems. So it is defined especially for time sharing systems. Here the jobs will be executed based on the processor time in a circular method. Okay, circular method. Let us see one example. Let us take three jobs A, B, C. These are the three jobs. These three jobs will be executed in the circular method. Time will be assigned to these three jobs. Based on that time, these processes will be executed one by one in a circular method. Okay. So first the job A is assigned to the CPU, and then job B is assigned to the CPU, and after that the job C is assigned to the CPU. If the job is not finished, then again A is assigned to the CPU and B is assigned to the CPU, and after that C is assigned to the CPU. And again, if the job is not completed, again do the same execution until the job's execution will be completed. And the next algorithm is based on priority. The given job is assigned to based on the priority, which means the job which has higher priority is more important than other jobs. Let us see one example. Let us take two jobs A and B. The priority of A is 5 and priority B is 7. So compare these two jobs. Which one is having high priority? A is 5, B is 7. So B is 7. That is high priority job. So job B is assigned to the processor first, and then the job A will be executed. Okay. Next feature is security management. Security is nothing but protect users' legitimate data from hackers. The operating system provides three levels of securities to the user. They are file access level, system level, network level. There are three levels of securities available in operating system. What are they? File access level, system level, network level. Let us discuss them one by one. First, let us see about file access level. If you want to access the files created by other people, you should have the access permission. The permission will be given by the creator of the file or administrator of the system. And next security is system level security. System level security is nothing but password in multi-user environment. Both Windows and Linux offer the password facility. And next security is network security. It is indefinable one. So people from all over the world try to provide such a security. And the next feature is fault tolerance. The operating systems should be robust, which means when there is a fault, the operating system should not crash. Instead of operating system have fault tolerance capabilities and retain the existing state of the system. So operating system having fault tolerance capability. Okay. Next feature is file management. The file management is an important function of OS which handles the data storage techniques, which means the operating system manages the files, folders and directory systems on a computer. FAT, F-A-T, which means file allocation table. In this table stores the general information about the files like file name, type of file and size of file and starting address and access mode. These all the things will be stored in the file allocation table. And the file manager of the operating system helps to create, edit, copy and allocate memory to files in the file allocation table. Next feature is multiprocessing. It has two or more processors for a single running process. It has two or more processors for a single running process. Processing takes place in parallel is known as parallel processing. Since the execution takes place in parallel, this feature is used to high speed execution which increases the power of computing. Next feature is time sharing. It allows execution of multiple tasks or processes concurrently. For each task, a fixed time is allocated. This division of time is called time sharing. So here for each processes, fixed time will be allocated. This division of time is called time sharing. Let us see one example. Let us take three processes, which means three jobs, P1, P2, P3. The time allocated for these three processes are 30 minutes for P1 process and 40 minutes for P2 process and 50 minutes for P3 process. If the process P1 completes within 20 minutes, then processor takes the next process P2 for the execution. If the process P2 could not complete within 40 minutes, then the current process P2 will be paused and switch over to the next process P3. Okay. And the next topic is distributed operating system. The distributed operating system is used to access the shared data and files that reside in any machine around the world using internet or intranet. If you want to access the data and files around the world using internet, the distributed operating system is used. And the next topic is prominent operating systems. The prominent operating systems are Unix, Microsoft Windows, Linux, iOS, Android. These are the prominent operating systems. These operating systems uses a graphical user interface. So this is about the theoretical concepts of operating system. I hope you understand.